I like it real and I like it quality. I don't need pomp and circumstance and tanned skinny skin. No shade to tan skinny skin, but I'm here for the show. Oh, you just, oh girl, Shameless is, I've done that 2 times. I've done Shameless twice. I've done Scandal about 3 times. How to Get Away with Murder twice. Somebody said they watching Grey's Anatomy again for the 7th time. I've never started Grey's Anatomy from the beginning because I just don't have the emotional capacity. Hold on. What y'all saying? Handmaid's Tale. I haven't watched that. So how shady she was. I did. I think I've. Someone said I watched the first season. Maybe not even the first season. The first couple episodes. Maybe just the first episode, and it just didn't seem real. Like, give her own show, and maybe I might then get into her antics. But it's like, if we talk about selling homes, I want to see the homes. I want y'all to be selling these homes and not scripted. I really be on the line. I love a program that's scripted with the intention of being scripted. I don't really get sucked into the reality effect of a show when everything is like, produced overly. I don't really like that, because I'd rather watch a properly produced show. Been watching Grey's since the very beginning, but I don't need to watch this. Somebody said if you did calculate it, it's gonna take you a week and a half to get through the whole thing. And I'm not doing that. Yeah, Breaking Bad, I've done that twice too. How long the episodes are? Like 45 minutes, yeah, an hour. And that, I mean, if you never watched Grey's Anatomy, girl, you're gonna have the time of your life. Shonda, it leaves you wanting for nothing, but especially with a stream, I could imagine if you watch it streaming. Actually, I remember when I put my sister on it, and she was up like 4 in the morning, had to be to work at 8. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Because that's the thing about Netflix. 3 seconds after it ends, another one is starting. And then you be right on to the next one, right on to the next one, right on to the next one. So that's dangerous. So if you got the time, you'll have the time of your life. American Horror Story is what I'm watching right now. Actually, I'm going to wait till that builds up, because I love American Horror Story. And I like what's going on in this season. Just because it's properly done. Ryan Murphy just does the programs the way programs need to be done, in a way that people don't do them. So I really like that. So I've definitely got into that. And not Game of Thrones, but I am watching House of the Dragon. Oh, not watching. Excuse me, guys. I watched the first 3 episodes of House of the Dragon just because I wanted to see some good effects, and it gave me what I was looking for. So I don't know whether I want to go back and watch Game of Thrones, or if I just want to wait and watch this and then watch Game of Thrones. I don't know where I stand with that. Because obviously it's a prequel, so you're learning the things that lead to Game of Thrones. I'm going to just let the Lord have his way with me on that. And I'm going to get to both. I'm surely will. Because I want to watch Game of Thrones, and I want to watch Sons of Anarchy. I don't see Christy. I could not do American Horror Stories, because I felt like that was a little juvenile. But that was just me. And I said, no. I need, it's on Netflix. I need me. I'm sure y'all said that because I'm reading through the comments. That American Horror Stories was At least from the first couple episodes I've seen of that one, I was like, no, this is not it. And I'm not missing Jessica Lange. Jessica Lange is old. No shade to Jessica Lange. But like, Sarah Paulson ain't in this new one either. And it's given fucking Peter Scavo is in here. So I'm all in for that. And the Jeans is gening in this new season. Favorite Coven was definitely, I think Coven is probably one of the best seasons of a program ever. Frankie and Grace and Frankie is definitely good. And it's over, so you could just binge right straight on through. House of Dragon, it really was. It gave. Hey Tiff. The story scared the heck out of me. I had to It was just that first, what was it, at the movie theater, and I was like, no. And I really do compare my expectation is Coven from every season of American Horror Story. But you have to understand to deal with what you deal with, because then, like, you know, the Curtis Hotel, that one, you know, the hotel season, you know, that sucked you into something different. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Yeah, oh God, and Angela, Lalaurie or whatever. No, that was Kathy Bates. They said they're trying to give her a spinoff for that. Murder House Freak Show came around. Freak Show had came around. I don't want The Watcher. I watched the first episode of The Watcher, and I was like, I'm not even interested to see how this plays out, because the neighbors then pissed me off. Okay. And I don't know if I didn't give it a chance, probably. But like I said, the vibe was just like, everything is really disturbing. It's creepy. And that's the thing, it'd be based on true events. And I'm kind of sick of seeing shows based on true events, because these just didn't happen last year. So where was these shows that when these things happen, I guess things take time, but you know, I'd be over-processing, overthinking, whatever. But it's just disturbing. It's just disturbing. And I don't want to watch the disturbing. I like a murder mystery. And that's, somebody was saying, like, American Horror Story this season is, first of all, I only watched the first 2 episodes. I mean, did he release 2 episodes the same day? Support the channel. Did he release the 2 episodes the same day? I don't know. But I only watched the 2 episodes, so I'm waiting. I'm at a point now where I don't give you no commercial. Don't make me wait too long, because I could watch something that's already established. Like I said, rewatching Succession, just to get myself ready for this new season. And I'll probably rewatch that last season of The Blacklist too, just to get ready for the new season. And Killing Eve. Get into that if you get a chance to get into that. Love Killing Eve. Yep, you can get my IG in my Natasha's put it up there, but it's also in my bio. Loved Killing Eve. Okay, it was on the BBC, but it's on Hulu. She's a spy. It's a detective sort of thing with Sandra Oh left. To do Killing Eve. I wouldn't say purposely, but when she left Grey's Anatomy, she went on and got the Killing Eve gig, which was really good. And I'm sure she was tired of playing second fiddle. As smart as she was on there, because it's very much so. We know you what's the thing? We know they made you the head of the show, but are you the head of the show? You know, we get it. Whatever that sound is. Sandra Oh definitely held her own, but Killing Eve is amazing. What else was I been watching? You won't be upset. Let me tell you one thing. You won't be upset. I'm always it's a lot. I'm watching True Detective. Is that with the black guy? Is that what True Detective is? Because I think I've been seeing that. What else have I been watching? And I watch it on the on the site, so I can't just go back to history. One season, yeah, I've seen that. I might have to tune into that. And sometimes I won't watch it if it's just one season, because that's the thing about Netflix. Netflix give you one season, and then you gotta wait 3 years, and then you gotta not like Lock and Key, but I waited to watch Lock and Key. Lock and Key was really good. Queen of the South. I haven't watched. I don't really get into Law and Order. I did watch the Abbott Elementary, amazing television. Quality television, I should say. I don't watch Law and Order. But I did watch this first episode of all the seasons where they all strung in the first 3 episodes. You know, the first episode strung between the 3 seasons, and I haven't gotten to Narcos yet either. And the first one was good, and I did not know they put Macabre Brooks' fine ass on the Law and Order like that. So that was pleasant, because he's always a treat. It's always good to see eggs. But after you got into Law and Order SVU, and then the other one, I was like, this is just like, I don't know. Love Queen Sugar. I'm waiting for the season to be over so I could finish the season out, and this is the last season, so I'm definitely love Queen Sugar. The season premiere this year of SVU, Criminal Major Crimes, or whatever the one Stabler is, and the regular Law and Order, the first episode of the season was the same. Like, it went from Stabler's to Benson's to the official one. So I watched that because that's on Peacock, and you know, I only needed the first episode, but if you were a Law and Order fan, it gave you what was supposed to have been given, I'm sure. But yeah. It starts with the girl getting killed in the street, and then, you know, all the way up to Law and Order, where the people get, you know, go to court. I did watch The Boys, and I loved it. The Boys. The Boys is homoerotic, so I definitely tuned into that. Understood the well, and maybe because I think I tried to watch Narcos, and that's the thing. Like, I love a subtitle, but if I have to, if it is required of me to read it, my ADHD kicks in. I'd be like, listen, I could be doing other things, and then that's like the thing. Like, subtitles are good for English because it's like, okay, I can make sure I'm hearing what they're saying, but subtitles in Spanish, I can't look away. Girl, listen, you're not going to be disappointed. Please come back and tell me how much you love it. Eve Palastri. But yeah, The Boys was good. You do have to pay for Peacock, but Peacock is like $4.99. I think it's one of the cheapest streamings. So you do get some ads, but it's a way to get around that. Like, if you restart it like a quarter of the way through, you won't get no ads no more. So it's a way to work it. But you get the NBC shows, you get Bravo and stuff like that. So and they have some good movies. I've been watching Shrek on there. You can't go wrong with a seasonal Shrek watch. The Rookie. I didn't watch The Rookie. Hopefully y'all writing these shows down, because y'all gonna be like, we was on live calling these shows and I forgot what they was. Thank you, Ajali. Peacock is definitely worth it. Doc House. Speaking of yeah, well, House. I rewatched House 2 a little while ago. Excuse me. I'm might be a shell. Dr. Death on Peacock, that was really good. And then the thing about Pam, that was really good. Coupled. On Netflix. The thing, what is it called? The Thing of an Affair? Something about an affair, the state of an affair on Netflix. That's only one season of that too, but that was so good. The plot twist in that was really good. And then the show Sex and Love or something like that on Netflix, that was really good, but that's still waiting on another season of that too. That's why Netflix, they got to be at least 2 seasons or more for me to get into it, unless I really don't have nothing else to watch. Because I hate to wait around. I really, really do. I didn't get into Grace and Frankie until like the first 4 seasons were up. Were you watching that on Netflix? When my friend introduced me to Breaking Bad, when we was working overnights, I think we were watching that on Netflix. Yeah, we were watching that on Netflix. So is it because that's the thing of binge watching. Now hold on now. Now y'all want to watch a good show as The Godfather or Harlem, and they just waiting. They just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm sitting here waiting. Now, B. Joyce, do you got T-Mobile? Bring it back around. If you got T-Mobile, you can get it for free. And when I pulled it up on here, I was like, okay, they got Verizon. Well, I'm sure Verizon got some perks. I'm sure they give you a streaming service. They got to. Probably Disney Plus or something. I don't know. But I'm sure they give you a streaming service. That's what I watched on Netflix when I got it on, was The Sinner. And I love The Sinner because that you just get sucked into the storyline and wait for the shit to hit the fan and the plot to twist. So that's what I did. Oh, see, and ESPN. We was talking about that earlier. Disney Plus and the ESPN. But yeah, Netflix is expensive. Ooh, Xfinity, and it gets the free Peacock. See, I like that they couple up and give the people a break. Now, if they could just forgive the bill quarterly, then they really be onto something. But that's just me. Let's not saying another show. Yeah, I watched The Sinner. Yeah, free Peacock, because Peacock is a lot. Peacock give you just what you need. You know what I'm saying? The documentaries is good. The movies is good every now and then. And that's, I think, what I was saying when I got the Netflix back on. I was like, okay, they put on some new things. Great movies I've watched before. I was surprised, like The Cleaner with Samuel L. Jackson. I like that movie, but I just watched that on one of my other streaming services. And when they put Case 39 on there, I was like, okay, so they putting some things on there I might want to dibble into again. Yes. If you got a Fire Stick, no, Netflix is not worth it. But the thing about it is it's convenient. You turn it on, you move your buttons, you press enter, you play it. You don't have to search and type and do the things. So that. But I mean, if you got your other streaming services, no, because Netflix should come up on everybody's things. Yeah. It's like that. Whatever. Except if you get the Fire Stick, you can watch everybody's stuff on there. But the convenience of the Netflix come on the damn remote. You know what I'm saying? So you press the button, and that's a convenience. Not so much of a hassle of like typing and waiting for the loading and stuff. know, a new way, re-break it, some whatever, something. You gotta work, work. You gotta work the system. But if you work in the system, ain't easy, but it's effective. But you have to want to do it. Like when you go to Burlington, you might find something good, but you gotta be in the mood. Burlington, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. You gotta be in the mood to search through the stuff to find what you might be looking for. Because it was very much so that sort of thing. Keep up with the updates, for sure. Lord, I wish I could go to a place where this is what you watched. Killing Eve is definitely a good takeaway. I'm gonna have to check Coupled Out. See, that I'm not good at. See, that's why people pay for the streaming service. Because I mean, you get the Fire Stick. Even I go online. I don't have a Fire Stick. I have a website, and everything's there. But even having the Netflix to just press the button and not have to type and wait for the buffer or go through the pop-ups and stuff like that, that's kind of priceless. Although it comes at a price. I'm gonna check Coupled Out. I have to go get my tablet. But even still, that don't really have none of the things. Yes, everywhere. It's extremely convenient. Yeah, my remote got Netflix and Prime Video on it. Some phones come with the Netflix, like you said, come with the Netflix on there. Like, well, who even said I paid for this? Who said that? Oh, I wish it could tell me, but it don't tell me a damn thing. I just watched. Oh, they got Barbarian, so I'm gonna be watching that tonight. Barbarian. They finally put the HD issue up there. I'm gonna watch The Good Nurse too, because I do love Jessica Chastain. Her show was on HBO Plus. Her and not Javier Bardem. Was that Javier Bardem? When she's in the marriage and they get in a divorce and they go through that whole thing, that was really good too. Roku has good stuff too. I like all types of movies. Thrillers, probably at the top of the list. A good horror film, even though they're few and far between. A comedy. I don't really like my thrillers and comedies mixed. But if the movie is good, if the acting is good and the plot and everything, I'm gonna watch the movie now. A period piece, a futuristic tale. I'm all for it. I'm into media. I love the media. What's the last movie I watched? Oh, my top 5. Lonesome Dove. I don't know that. My top 5. Oh my god. I mean, it changes every time. I could hit the refresh button. Cruel Intentions was probably my first favorite movie, just because it was all the things at the time. And then, A Law-Abiding Citizen finds its way in there, but that's like Gerard Butler movies in general. I love Zero Dark 30 does something to me because of the story that it tells. Uncoupled. Not a 6-hour movie now. Listen, if I can't recall the shows, it's going to be damn hard for me to recall the movies. Nope was good as I look at that. But I thought Nope was good after I finished watching it, but I can't remember what it was about. I just knew I enjoyed it more than the other ones. Oh my goodness, you guys. A Walk to Remember. I never seen The Notebook, so I don't know if it does that to me. The Other Sister. The Other Sister. And I've never seen this either. So we all picking up something, and we all putting down something that each one of us could pick up. A Rich Girl Loving a Poor Man. I wanted to check that out for young. Notebook was okay. So many things. I just watched the movie The Watcher. You're gonna love it. The Watcher, that was good. The girl was getting watched, and she moves to London with her husband. That was pretty good. I just be flowing through things, and then if I'm not watching a movie, I'm reading up something for the people. Oh, are you craving crawfish now? I'm sorry. 13 Ghosts is a classic, and I haven't watched it probably since 96, 97. Now Children of the Corn makes me think of the movie on Peacock, like In the Field or something like that, and they all get placed in the field of some type of government experiment where they're all running through the cornfield. That was pretty good too. Mommy Dearest is, I don't think I could even talk to somebody if they never seen Mommy Dearest. Like you won't get it. You know what I mean? You just won't get it. Mommy Dearest for sure. I'm trying to think of more recent things, but definitely the classics of Mommy Dearest. I love a Shrek moment. I mean, I could watch Shrek 1 and 2 anyway, anytime. Honestly, my first favorite movie was probably Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, Imitation of Life. But then it was Eve of Destruction. There was something about that movie. I love that movie too. And The Good Son. I like dark things. The Good Son. Those are like the first movies I remember, like, okay. And then as I look back, like, what the fuck did I even know about those movies? But I love to watch them because they were probably dark. Those are like my first favorite movies. And then like fucking Cruel Intentions brought it all together. Cindy, I was just saying how I'm rewatching it right now, getting ready for the new season. I was saying that earlier. Didn't nobody else agree, but I'm glad somebody came into the room. Pet Detective, and When Nature Calls, listen, and that's probably one of the first movies that went into sequel, like Shrek, because Shrek 1 and Shrek 2 just as good as 1, and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective and Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, just as good. It's not like it started to fall off. Shit, Home Alone. So maybe Home Alone, because even Home Alone 3 is good with the little boy. But yes, Death Becomes Her. They're supposed to be remaking that, and the only reason, first I'm over a remake, but the only reason I'm open to them remaking Death Becomes Her is because Kate gonna be in it. And speaking of Kate Hudson, she got a good show on Netflix too. I think that's Kate Hudson. Or that might be Renee Zellweger. I think it's Kate Hudson. Either way, that's the only reason I'm open to it. And I know Anne gonna deliver. Although she was kind of weird on Watch What Happens Live, her and Victoria Beckham. Both of them were kind of weird. They didn't give me exactly what I was looking for when they were on there. Because Anne was acting too Hollywood, and Victoria was trying to act too likable. But that's beside the point. So I'm only giving it a chance because that's Goldie's daughter. And Anne, I'm not saying she's Meryl Streep, but who Meryl Streep was at that time, that's who Anne is now. The School for Good and Evil. That sounds familiar. People Under the Stairs. I've heard about that. I might have seen that. I'm not exactly sure. I love Succession. I really, really do. Flowers in the Attic. I think I've seen that once. I think Lady Gaga's going to play that lady who has the potion, because she's going to be in it. Which is just reprising her role in American Horror Story Hotel. But she's getting into these dark roles too. That's beside the point. But yeah, I think that's what she's gonna do. Or is that, I do love a Princess Diaries moment too. I do like an Annie. Did you like a Hocus Pocus too? I didn't get into that. I haven't watched Hocus Pocus, the first one, in a decade, like in 96, 97. And I don't know, maybe one day when I'm eating popcorn with nothing else to watch, I'll put it on. Because of the what? I haven't seen the second one yet. Because of, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, 100%. Come on now, y'all. I'm trying to be too new, and then these are the movies that formed me. Okay, these are the movies that created the person you see before you now. Death Becomes Her, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Mommy Dearest, Ace Ventura. These are the movies that formed me. Okay. Yeah, my sister liked Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead first. She used to talk about how many times she's seen it, 40, 50 times. And it's easily a movie you could watch 40. It's easily a movie you could watch over and over and over. I remember we watched The Goonies in school. I don't know why they let us do that. No wire hangers, okay? Christina? Eat the food. She had to eat that steak. Christina, get me the axe. Don't Fuck With Me, fellas. Tu Wong Fu was a movie ahead of its time. I don't think there's never been a movie like Tu Wong Fu. And that's probably a play off of Paris is Burning in some degree, the essence of it. Maybe so much the beginning. That really just that beginning part kind of has that Paris is Burning feel. But then you get into the characters, and then like Eugene, that sort of thing. The Cutting Edge, Guilty Pleasure, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Tu Wong Fu used to be on Netflix. I don't know if I'm not sure if it still is. The movie about karate, and he starts to glow red. Interview with the Vampire in Brooklyn. Come on, somebody. The Last Dragon. I got more legs than a bucket of P to the R to the N to the S. The Lost Boys. Vampire in Brooklyn. Vampire in Brooklyn, come on somebody, okay? The Lost Boys. And I say, evil is good. Yeah. Evil is good. Ajali, no ja, Ajali. Eagle is good. The Lost Boys. Ghost. You know, the one time I did see Ghost, I was like, I know I see why people love this movie so much. That was pretty good. So was Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing was quite the story to be told. Here we go, right here. Lost Boys is from 1987. I never seen it. Just call me Mariah. I never seen it. And how about Kiefer Sutherland? Speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, that's this, what's the name of that show Kiefer Sutherland is in? What the fuck is that name of that show? On Netflix? Actually, it was on TV. The Netflix picked it up. Designated Survivor, right? Love that on Netflix. But I want to talk about House of Cards. And what's his name from House of Cards? The guy from American Beauty. I can't think of his name. Y'all gonna tell me before I find it out. House of Cards show Kevin Spacey, see Natasha, she always on it. Now he done got cleared, right? Beetlejuice is no sidebar. It's up there in the mix. See in a sec. He was in American Beauty, exactly. Now they done left the show. He done kicked him off the show because of this thing. Now he done got cleared. Bring his ass back to his program. Although old girl did do a good job with that. Right, he got cleared. American Beauty was so good, and that was just too young to be watching American Beauty. But from what I just got into the story. But yeah, they done cleared him, kicked him off that show, cleared that man, and now had the girl done clear it up for him. And whether that's intentional or not, you know, I'm not gonna get into that because we sit there and talk about the movies or whatever. But give us another season, bring Kevin's ass back. But did he die? Maybe he died, so maybe they can't bring him back. But I thought that was so. It was a crack of bullshit, is what they did. It took so long to figure all that out. Either way, it's a good show. I made a movie in the UK. Well, I'm pretty sure he didn't stop working completely. I'm pretty sure. Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. You know what I just watched too? House of Gucci. And that was really good. I had been tiptoeing around that, and finally I think I cooked something. I was like, let me put this on while I put this together. And I got right into that story, but made me think about how all these designers get to dying, because I watched Scarface didn't age well. I watched that that was Ryan Murphy too, when he did the Versace story, and I had watched that, and I just think about how them people like the Anna Delveys get into these groups of people and get started. I mean, Anna wasn't killing nobody, but get in and just be navigating through the people's lives like this. It just blows my mind. My mom loved House of Gucci and the Marilyn Monroe show. House of Gucci was good, and then the Marilyn Monroe movie, not this new one, Marilyn, but whatever the documentary where they talked to actual people that were a part of her life on Netflix, that was good. I never seen Constantine. And I never seen Tombstone, and I don't think I've seen. Listen, John Wick. I wish they would let that man rest, because John Wick been running for a long time, and I know he tired. Okay, killed his wife, killed his dog. I'm sure he just want to lay down somewhere, running from the people. running through the streets with Halle Berry. Just let him get his strength, because thank God it's good. It was really good as the the fight sequences and all that stuff. They killing people in new ways on John Wick. So I like when I watch a show and it has those things. But my God, today I know he's exhausted. Got to be. He barely healed from the first that damn movie. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. So that's why I watched House of the Dragon. I was like, okay, the House of the Dragon has got to be about dragons, so I'm sure they're going to have some dragons in here, and I'm sure the graphics is going to be good, and the graphics are showing up good, just like the movie Beowulf on Netflix. I love that because of the graphics. I love it for multiple things. It's very beautiful, and I also read the book in high school. And that's a really good adaptation of that. Like, well, they get to sucking the people in on all different levels. There's something for everybody. Crazy. That's what you mean by it didn't age well. Speaking of Scarface and shooting, I love Illegal Tender. What y'all know about that? They want to give somebody an Oscar or something. Give the people in Illegal Tender an Oscar. Oh, well, that don't happen to the end of the movie. I Am Legend is a decent. Lots of Will Smith movies is pretty decent. I tried to watch his breakout movie with the gay scene, and A Walk to Remember, excellent. A Walk to Remember, excellent movie. The Age of Caroline, The Age of Adeline, excellent movie. One Last Thing, I think is the name of that movie. That's a good movie too. I love a good movie, regardless of the genre, but the genre, of course, but like, bring me in and then leave me like, whoa, like, what the fuck, that sort of thing. I love a movie with a good twist in the end, and that's why I like The Sinner on Netflix, because you watch and you watch and you watch, and you're like, oh my God, something's gonna happen. Hispanic. I don't know none of the people's names on there, but I know that movie had everything I needed. Okay, it touched on everything I like in the film. The Book of Eli, definitely a good movie. Actually, a movie I would like to watch again. You know, a movie I want to watch again too? Passion of the Christ. I just want to see how I see it through these good adult eyes I got now, and see how it comes across again too. I know it was very impactful back when I watched it, but I want to see how I feel about it now. Speaking of Mel Gibson, what's that movie with him and her? Things Men Want? Things Men Like? Beaches. I think I watched a piece of Beaches one time. Just a piece. Oh, you do a whole bunch of Christian people. Yeah, I just want to see what I see when I see it. What men want. Nicki Minaj. I liked that. I mean, that just goes back, and it's just those formulative movies from back in the day. Well, not back in the day, because we talk about beaches and things like that. But for me, What Men Want was just good. Just a good program. What is this? Oh, just a good program. 10 Days to Lose a Guy. This one too. What is it called? where the girl, oh my God, she lived with all the models in and out. She restores paintings. Um, Good, good, good. I'm glad. Healing, 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 and soothing, soothing powers coming over here. What is it? In and Out? Not In and Out. I feel like that was a movie too. In and Out was definitely a movie. Never Been Kissed, 100%. Riding in the Car with Boys, 100%. First Dates, definitely. Um, what's his name? Jason something. Cause we touching and agreeing on here, okay? Touching and agreeing. Gotta love Jason Momoa. Okay, somebody with that video of him fishing on that boat with the like Tarzan, child. You can't go wrong with Jason Momoa. The perfect one. A nice full one. A good full one. Head over heels. Is that what I'm thinking of? Natasha, if that's what I'm thinking of, because, this is why we BFFs. That's my BFF Jill. Head over heels. Yes. Yes, and fucking indeed. Love it. I loved that movie. And then all these girls that act, all the models was like real models and acting still. So I like that too. I loved it head over heels with Freddie Prinze Jr., if you will. And Monica Potter. Pulled it right out of my head. Then this other Freddie Prinze movie, definitely maybe while you're The Wedding Planner. And really, really honestly, any J-Lo movie. And depending on who you are, the seller's alright. I've never seen Geely. Hey, LaShawn Catron. Welcome. What's your favorite movie? Yeah, definitely. She definitely, yes, acting is definitely one of her stronger skills. And then the dancing, and then the acting, and then the singing. My Best Friend's Wedding, 100%. But most of J-Lo's movies, I've never really seen Geely, I don't think. But every other movie, Pretty Woman for sure. J-Lo is really good. Like that movie on Netflix, with her and Richard Gere or something like that, where they're out on the farm. That was good. I had stumbled upon that. I was like, if I watch this movie and it's good, then I can go out here and I can honestly say, without a shadow of doubt, with no bias, that J-Lo is in good movies. So that was good. And then Final Notice or something like that, whatever her movie is, that was good. And then Marry Me, that was good. Enough, of course. I mean, Enough is the J-Lo movie that everybody, I mean, it brings the guys and the girls, you know? Runaway Bride. Classics. These are all, these are all the classics. Then they're going to be trying to remake all these movies. Speaking of Richard Gere. Unfaithful, Sleeping with the Enemy. $100%. These are all new things. I'm looking to see what I see. Slime. Is that out? Is that right? Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction. Yeah. Because honestly, you know, the thing is, it's a music and movies. It's a formula, and if you hit it on the head with everything that needs to be done for a movie, for people to be sucked into the movie, you just don't go wrong. Looking at this, I thought a liar, liar, but that's James. Like, let's say anything like anything J Lo, Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Lawrence, Angelina Jolie, Jim Carrey, any movie with them in it, I'm gonna like it. Angelina Jolie, from Salt to Mr. and Mrs. Smith to something about the fire. They didn't want us here anyway. Changeling. Great movies. Jessica Chastain, Zero Dark 30, The Help, Molly's Game. It's just something about Molly's Game, and maybe it's The Hustle and the got it out the self-madeness of Molly's Game. I just love it. The story. Tomb Raider. How lest we forget Tomb Raider, because that's my shit. The worst movie I ever saw, Master. Honestly, the worst movie I ever saw. Jesus. That's right off the. That's like the worst movie. And then in the same Regina Hall theme, Honk for Jesus. Stupid. I hate that she's in both those worst movies I've seen to date. Probably some movies I can't even get the name of. If it's a bad movie, I immediately block it from the memory bank. I immediately block it from the memory bank. But if we're gonna get into it, let me see what they do with bad movies. See if I've seen them. Program at Showgirls, Dark Crimes. I didn't see that. Yeah, it's Unhinged. You know, Unhinged. It was maybe too unhinged. But they got Norbit on here. Norbit is not a bad movie. Unhinged just didn't have no point to it. Yeah, we throwing out some bad movies we've seen too. Life as We Know It. I like that movie. They got Mommy Dearest on the list. Child, Norbit is a classic. I don't know if I could trust this list. Maybe this was bad. Every last one of them. No, not 50 Meters Down. You know, people say that. And 50 Meters Down was, for me, every time, yeah, definitely, Cabin Fever. 50 Meters Down, for me, you know, a little tenuous, tedious, and, you know, a little bit of a struggle. But it was like down in the cage and trying to figure all that out. It looked like, okay, it's a shark movie, you know? That was better than The Shallows, in my opinion, with Blake Lively. I think that was a bad movie. But the redeeming scene in 50 Meters Down is when she's on her way up. And she shines that torch and all them sharks is around her. That was the redeeming scene for me. But then ultimately it's like not true, right? So that was kind of corny, and that's probably why it makes it so bad. But graphic wise, I think they did really good. Imagine if Jaws was shot with these types of graphics. You know what I mean? Or even the Meg. I really like that because that's really good graphics. They got these good movies on here, and I don't know what this list they think about. Because I Said So is a bad movie. Because I Said So is amazing. Even Bad Moms, the first one was really good. Unforgettable. A shark movie with Alicia Silverstone. Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is a classic. And you want to know why I love it so much? Because I don't like Samuel L. Jackson. And the way that shark came up out of that thing and got him like that was a redeeming scene for me. I like the Tomorrow War and I like After Earth. I don't know who done made these movies on the bad list. Deep Blue Sea, definitely a classic. Definitely a classic. Now listen, now that's just a. I think that just goes without saying. Most of Tyler's. I pulled up on Google on the Googler, bad movies, and they got The Day After Tomorrow, The Tomorrow War, and not The Day After Tomorrow, but The Tomorrow War. The Day After Tomorrow, I like most of those end of the world, like 2012, Day After Tomorrow, Geo, Storm. I like those end of the world type movies because they got the good actors and they got the good graphics. Even fucking Independence Day. Maybe. It's been a while. Yeah, Christy, we don't. Tyler Perry, child. Yeah, dystopia. Yes, I love that. Mad Max, Starship Troopers. Oh my goodness, is that bad? Starship Troopers is. I remember going to the movies to see Starship Troopers. I remember going to the movies to see Starship Troopers, and Don't Be a Menace. That's how Central are drinking your juice in the hood. Two movies. Well, Starship Troopers was alright, but I just remember that sex scene, them shooting up them people, and then putting that person out into space like that when he died. Starship Troopers, yes. And then Don't Be a Menace. I didn't have. When I went with my dad, and we didn't have no business going to see that movie. I didn't at that time. I don't know, 7, 8, I don't know, young, and I remember going to the movies to see those. Starship Troopers is definitely one of the good ones. Even like Tremors 2, Tremors as well, because I only think the first Tremors is good, not them other ones. But I could be wrong. I just said I liked it, no, but I don't remember what it was about. I just know I got into the story and I wasn't as put off by it as like, definitely not Us. And, the tea, in the sunken place, that was more like a documentary kind of for me. But Nope was like, okay, all right. Terrified Part 2. No, I don't think I have. Oh, they said Batman and Robin were one of the worst movies of all time. Not with Poison Ivy and Dr. Freeze. Halloween Ends was garbage. Listen, one of the comments on one of the Housewives videos was like, I would watch Halloween again to see Michael Myers and Kyle Smith. I was like, oh my God, I was screaming. But also somebody said too, she only got about 5 words in the whole movie. Terrified Part 2 is the scariest movie ever. What's the scariest movie I ever seen? Probably I can't think of the name. It was two of them. Creepy. See, I just don't like creepy things. Um, I think I watched. I did because it was a prequel. I watched The Orphan 2. That wasn't terrible. Terrified. Oh, Terrifier 2. Terrified is a movie that came out in 2017. Terrifier 1 came out in 2016. Wrong turn, all 10 of them. Terrifier 2. I'm gonna check it out. Demon Knight. Any movie with demon in it got to be scary, huh? But it's got clowns in it. I'm not scared of clowns, but scary clowns are creepy. Because they already tap dancing on frightening, and then they just go on and give them a face. I guess it's about clowns. Resurrected by a sinister entity. What movie was that? What I was watching and the girl. Oh, My Best Friend's Exorcism. Did y'all watch that? That's on Peacock. Terrified of clowns. I can understand it. The Corpse Bride. I never seen that. Yeah, I can see. Like, I'm all right at the circus or whatever, but you get with the clowns with the blood and the faces or the dark eyes, and that was you said you terrified of clowns, and didn't you like Freak Show? Maybe that's why you liked it. But like, you know, that sort of thing, that the sorrow behind that makeup is really what could be scary about a clown. What's on HBO? I guess Michael Myers is a clown of sorts, huh? First of all, my favorite Michael Myers is the first one. Not the first one, but the one that kicks it all off. Because I always say all they had to do. Nice cream trucks. I always say about Michael Myers ever since seeing that, all they had to do was take his ass trick or treating, and we wouldn't be sitting here going through these years and years of him running through the towns and terrorizing the people. All they had to do. Well, that's because of these movies we sit here talking about we grew up watching. Scary movies. I really wasn't like Michael Myers, Jason. I wasn't scared of things like that. I had my own demons I was scared of, and them just didn't cut it. No? I mean, it depends on who you ask. I don't think you're missing much not seeing any. But that first one just told a better story. Like, he was, a kid. Nightmare on Elm Street, that's as good as it gets. Yeah, that's, Jason, that's, Freddy. Definitely those are those movies we would get around when we got together as cousins back in the day. We was watching stuff like that. My cousin was really scared of those things. The Crypt Keeper and stuff like that. Like Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, because Freddy's strong as hell, but that costume is a little bit lackluster. And Jason Jason is strong as hell. No, young, I'm sorry. Jason is strong as hell, but the costume is lackluster, and Freddy is a bit camp, So I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not into the comedy and the horror. Like, I want you to hit me with the horror, and then when I want to watch something funny, I'll watch something funny. I'm really not a fan of the two mixing. But I do agree Michael is the scariest of them, just overall. And the fact that, you know, people could run over state lines and Michael be there. And his ass don't go faster than a stroll. So I just don't know how he gets there to where he getting, when he gets to where he going. But that's all the scary part about it. That's the scary part about it. We didn't talk about no bad movies, and when I know we've seen some, but I can't. If it's bad, I'm going. If it's bad, and I only called out Master and whatever because Kick It with Freddie. That's because I just recently watched both of those. I want to say too, when I watched The Watcher, I watched another movie too that was pretty dumb. But what that was, I can't tell you. Because if it's bad, I'll be pissed about it, and then have I been sitting here that long? I'll be pissed about it, and then I remove it from my memory. I remove it from the memory bank because why keep it there? Interception. Did you ever see that Jim Carrey movie? I might watch that. The number, is it number 4? The number 40? Number 11? The number 23. That's what it's called. I also watched Don't Breathe again for rewatch Don't Breathe, and that's a pretty good movie. I have to see if I've seen Don't Breathe 2. This movie Traffic, I think that was a bad movie. Because I don't remember what the hell happened. Anything with, what's her name? Yeah, it was a dumb movie. Paula Patton, child. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Not Molly's Game. Who's doing these lists? Because these people don't know nothing. I like all music too, the same way with movies. If it's done right, I'm going to listen to it. Rascal Flatts, Rihanna, Rod Digger. I mean, if it's all right, I'm with it. Initially, my go-to is R&B. I love somebody that's gonna sing me something, put me in a vibe, put me in a mood. But I also put on my shuffler, and I'm from like I said, Rascal Flatts to Kirk Franklin, Ricky Dillard, I should say. That whole thing, I'm gonna listen to it all. Definitely love a good tune. And I do not limit myself. I'm born in Buffalo. Buffalo, New York. Ooh, that Billie Holiday movie with, first of all, I love Lady Sings the Blues. Let's talk about that. Love Lady Sings the Blues. But with Andra Day, the Billie Holiday with Andra Day, my God, today. My God, tomorrow. That's so funny you say that, because I was going to say, I want to put a status on Facebook, like I live these places by area code. But I've only visited, I've been to New Orleans, I went to Essence Fest, I've been to Florida, I've been to Miami, and I've been to Orlando. And that's really, I've been to Virginia. Pennsylvania. That's really nothing, because Buffalo's right there. I lived in New York for a spell. New York is a state of its own. That's right. I've never been anywhere else. I was in Atlanta for a layover. Pardon me, but that don't really count, no. That's that crawfish. Got me sitting here. I like women ensemble movies. I like the 355, and I love Ocean's 8. There's other The League of Their Own women ensemble movies. I remember that being a really good movie. These just can't be in the bad movie. They just cannot be in the bad movie section because none of them was bad. Where my dream to visit? Bali. Out the country, honestly. It's a place I'd like to visit because, I mean, every place is an experience. But like, I would love to get, honestly, Switzerland. I've been looking at these videos on TikTok, and it's just, I could not imagine the sky being so blue, and then with the clouds, and the grass being so fucking green, and then the water being so clear with those mountains in the back. I would just die. I could not imagine something like that. So I would love to go to Switzerland, Bali because it's beautiful. Greece, I would love to go to Greece. London, obviously. Thunder Force was a good movie on Netflix. I enjoyed that quite thoroughly, actually. The Congo, but I would love to travel outside of the country and get into the islands, or places with oh my god, it's just with great scenery. I don't care where that takes me. Now, I don't want to be caught out there like Brittany Griner's ass, but give me a place with scenery, and I mean, at the very least, a fast food chain I can. If the food ain't gonna be hitting, just give me some fast food I can get that I'm familiar with. But just give me the scenery and I'm all right. Or a grocery store and I can make my own stuff. I actually want to watch the not Wolverine, but the X-Men series. I want to watch that from the first one until the most recent one, in order. I also love Venom too, but I love Tom Hardy. That's Bay. Have y'all been traveled? What's the furthest y'all traveled? Furthest I've traveled, I say, is New Orleans. What's the furthest you? I'm not a video gamer. No, not really. But I did have the game systems when I was younger: PlayStation, Sega, Nintendo. So with that being said, Tomb Raider. I did like Tekken 2, Nataj. Like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Sonic, stuff like that. California and Vegas. Oh, I came to Colorado. Moved to Connecticut. Nice. I wouldn't mind going to Colorado too. Scenic, peaceful. Oh, what's going on? Albatross. Florida, hopefully y'all were safe during this whole hurricane fiasco. They said Florida's gonna be underwater in a couple of years, and with the way that water be rushing in over there, I wouldn't be surprised by that. They say the same thing about Venice, gonna be underwater. With that being said, imagine how many countries how many states have gone underwater. Give me that title. Flooded. That's so crazy. That's the thing, like in New Orleans too, I went, Katrina was what, 2007, 2008. See, and that's a historic district. So imagine all the shit that got destroyed there. And that's the thing. I'm not getting into that. We're not getting into that serious. I'm about to get out of here. It's been 3 hours. They try to kick me out of here. 2000. Was it 2005? Jesus. I was in high school. So I went 7 years later in 2012. And you could still see the lines in the buildings. We were in the 9th ward. It was 2 streets over from I think that's the right terminology. 2 streets over from Bourbon, and you could still see the lines and how high the water was on the buildings, and that was just insane. And then when it rained, oh my God. I always talk about that rain because I've never seen rain come down and fall out that sky the way that rain came out of that sky in New Orleans. And I was asking people if they get nervous when it rains. But thank you for the share. When I said I'm about to get out of here, but at all, I love it either way. I love it either way. Proud Mary. That was a dumb movie. I mean, I'm hanging on. I can imagine how that water wasn't safe. I could just imagine. And they talk about in Florida how the gators, I could just imagine all the animals and stuff that was just swimming through them streets and down in New Orleans like that. I could just, crazy. But also too, the energy, the culture in New Orleans is electrifying. And the spirit of the people is just, you would never think something like that happened. So catastrophic happened down there because the people just pick right back up, making their etouffee and their beignets and doing their street tricks and things like that, and getting drunk on Bourbon Street. Let me tell you, we was drunk on Bourbon Street, okay? Blasted on Bourbon, okay? I will say I did get tired of the food after a while because there's only but so much crawfish and Creole I need as a northerner. I remember just wanting a steak sub after eating all this the gravy and the po' boy and the this and the this. I just wanted a McDonald's French fry, but the food is good, flavored for sure. Mariah, this is, what time will you be on here tomorrow? Well, if you ask, and that means I got to, and I don't know. Mariah, I'll be on live hours and hours, like old girl said. And it depends on, well, I'll probably be asleep. I don't know, probably maybe this same time tomorrow. Because I'll be probably sleeping during the day like I did today because I'll be up late. My sleeping schedule is all off. But what is a sleep schedule? But my sleeping schedule is all off. So I will say, we'll share the live for sure. And then you can go and turn on your notifications so you get a notification when I do go live so that you don't miss the vibe. So that you don't miss the vibe. What am I going to watch when I go lay down? Honestly, I'm going to probably finish, what you call it? Yes, I love to see it. I love to have you. I love to have you here. Got you. Just an hour? I never will. I'll see you tomorrow. I definitely will. We'll be here. We'll be here. Sleep tight. They said sleep tight came from making sure the bed frame, the bed braces was tight, or the strings that held the bed up were strung tightly, and that made more comfortable sleep? Star you out too? Or are you just wishing good night? Oh, see, that's why I love y'all. Love the community. But that's where the phrase "sleep tight" comes from. Make sure your bed strings is wound tight, so you get a nice comfortable rest. Everything comes from something. They got a Joe Dirt too. Some tea. I wouldn't mind a little tea. I wouldn't mind a little tea. Ooh. I don't know why I'm yawning. I have been asleep all day. Mia. I got absolutely loose and cool. I'm alright. Sitting here just hanging out with the gang. Talking about a few things. I'll probably get out of here around 1-ish. Maybe 1-ish. Eastern Standard. See, I hate that. Because I've been on a minute. You got to. I realize. I say this now because I realize when you guys will say turn on the notifications. I never noticed, but I've seen now that you can hit the bell. But you have to just play around it. Or you got to play around in all these apps and figure out where things are and stuff like that. But there's definitely a bell you can press. And I'm not saying it's a sure thing, because you know how TikTok like to do me. But it might help. It just might help. That's not a bad movie. Acrimony was a bad movie. Was it? Yeah. It could have been. Yeah. You like Acrimony? I want to say because the ending, but I did not get my thoughts on Elon buying Twitter. But Elon buying Twitter, amongst his Kanye stuff, with all that dicking around he was doing before, and now he's like, okay, I'm gonna acquire it, and then I'm gonna bring back the people, the most controversial people. That sounds like Proud Mary, Benjamin Button, Paper Planes or whatever that movie was called. I'm not surprised. It's not surprising. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, what's about to happen now? And whatever Elon does with Twitter, coupled with Kanye, and then, we're switching things up. Constitutional rights, the laws that set precedents. You know what I mean? That's kind of where we're at. And then Elon Musk acquiring Twitter, which is like, was one of the first places or the most acceptable place for free speech and things like that to share your opinions or whatever. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So that's where we are. So him acquiring, finally purchasing Twitter was not surprising. It was just like, okay. That's the next. When everybody was like, "What's the next thing?" That's the next domino to fall. Him acquiring Twitter. Well, you need it because you got the money. And then it's all a money thing. He has the money to acquire it. Also the money that was switched, whatever, how much ever he paid for it, went to the owner of Twitter, and whatever deal he does in the background. You know what I'm saying? With the money that he just acquired from Twitter, it all goes together. It all are the dominoes that continue to fall from this situation that, which people think is such an isolated situation with Kanye West, but it's all a part of the bigger plan. Not the domino. Remember, I said the cards fall and the image flourishes of the flower or whatever, and then more cards fall in another outlet. It's just, that's the sort of thing that happens all the time. This is how we do. Not on with him. Hey, hubby, you don't have to worry. So that's what I thought about that. When I seen it, I was like, okay, this is the next domino to fall, and I will just see what happens after that. We'll see how they'll try to we'll see how they try to control speech, and that's just because that's kind of where we're at. And then Julian Assange kind of is a piece of this whole free speech conversation as well. This free speech conversation as well, So we got to just sit back and see what colors they put on the ball next, as Seeley said. Because something else is going to come. Because something else is going to come. And I'm telling y'all, these are the things we got to pay attention to. Because somebody ain't thought about how Elon Musk. All Kanye do is talk about Elon Musk. Not Kunda. Did she cut ties with him? I didn't see that. I was just about to run through the things and see what I've seen. I did not see. Now Diddy becomes a billionaire, replaces Kanye West on the list of wealthiest hip hop artists. Child. I did not see, but I do have her on the list because I want to get. Tony Brown died. I don't know who Tony Brown is. I want to see with her, the company with her husband. Kanye he's a feather ruffler. But I want to see what that involvement was with the business stuff like that. So I just got to see how that is, and I'm gonna have to look into that because I did not hear that she had cut ties with him. She looks, I don't know, she's kind of short in the tooth to be so. And is she conservative? Or is that just the title they use on her? But she kind of short in the tooth to be standing so firm on her opinions. Hey, and B's best friend. I'm all right. How y'all? Ladies, y'all all right? Fellas, how y'all feel? She kind of shortened the tooth to be standing so strong and not, you know what I mean? Because she's on the come up. I'm sure she just don't want to be sitting on YouTube with a podcast or, playing in the background. She wants to level up. So that's the thing. You start to sacrifice. You get to switching opinions. That sort of thing. Taking a step back. Well, like I told you, of these companies that Kanye's supposed to have been dropped from, they all run by the Jewish people. So Kanye, he's not wrong. Something big, real big is happening. Hey, Screaming Wordsmith. What's up? See, this is what happens. I told y'all Trump. And then the people start coming in. This is what happens every time. And I don't mind it. She wants to sue the Foreman family of the Georgia. They want to sue her, and I think that's for anything. Oh Lord, she wants to, whatever that. Now I'm disassociating for legal reasons. Same way Drink Champs took down the interview with Kanye West, but they knew damn well what that man was going to get on there and say. And edited it to edit the program to keep all those controversial things in there to get a bottom line for Diddy, who's now the wealthiest man in hip hop. Are y'all following me here? Even with Carisha Please, that's money in Diddy's pocket too. And if Drink Champs goes down because of this, he got Carisha Please And we just transfer the people from Carisha Please, from Drink Champs over to Carisha Please because they drinking over there too. And they're turning everyone against Kanye. They're turning everyone against him. And I'm just not an advocate for praying for this man's downfall. But he ain't done nothing. He has not done one thing so terrible. He has not done one thing so dastardly that we need to be taking the money out of his pockets. Because the man still got a family. Whether he with Kim or not, he is still present in his family, in his children's lives. And the money, he needs the money for them. Although all that's, you know, royalties and residuals and all that stuff is still coming in and stuff like that. But to tarnish his reputation at this level, I think is a little bit excessive. That's just my opinion. Because there's people whose names you don't know who are doing things that are much, 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 much worse. Or there are people who have done things that are much worse and people don't even give them all this flack like they're giving Kanye West. George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama, to name a few. Let me read your comments. The screaming wordsmith, yes. You know, I'm just saying, and that's just the way I say it. Just because there's another way to look at it. You know what I mean? Well, it's a thing. Because what Kanye's saying, if what Kanye's saying wasn't true, they would play on the part that he's just crazy and be dismissive and everybody would believe him and still keep the money. But he is saying things actual and factual. And whether this leads to this crumbling of a system, because that's Kanye, I've seen a video on TikTok, said this early on in my TikTok days, Kanye, with his knowledge and his information and his things, will crumble the system if people begin to understand, or if people see things the way Kanye West sees them, will become the dissolution of the system. And regardless of Kanye West being at the forefront of it, we've seen and left we'd have seen the dissolution of the system among many things in many ways, from the presidency with Donald Trump, and not because of Donald Trump, but because of a character like Donald Trump. We now look at the presidency a different way. In your hometowns, in different ways, entertainment. Like I said, now we're in a level of governing of women's bodies, overturning a Roe v. Wade. The freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying? The ability to, or for repurposing the Constitution to fit whatever is coming down the line with people like, you know, Elon Musk acquiring Twitter and things like that. And, you know, it's just all these things. Privacy. Look, I got $30 from a privacy breach for Twitter. I mean, from TikTok, you know what I mean? So that's just where we are. And and with Kanye speaking his mind and not being wrong with the things he's saying, he's also a piece in this game of chess that is, you know, Big Brother, entertainment, all that, you know? So if his role is to bring down the Kardashians in some way, or bring awareness to this in some way, or things like that, then all of that, because at the end of the day, Kanye could have been unalived long ago. When he said George Bush don't like black people, they knew what they were dealing with, because it's just, imagine the conversation he was having when he wasn't on camera. So people are very aware of what the man thinks and what he's going to put out there, and they became more aware of his influence. Because all the while people want him to not be with his kids and want him to lose his business, is people standing on the freeway, I-49 or whatever, the I-10 by 10, with signs talking about they support Kanye, as they do when they find somebody that's speaking their language. Like when y'all come here and y'all listen to, y'all like what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I'm not a radical, but you guys come here and can pick up off of, you know, you guys start to pick up what I may be putting down over here on my platform. Kanye is on a huger platform. He has influenced things in many different genres and facets of entertainment. People out there fucks with him. Like, hard body. Everything he says, he stands for, the music, his relationships, ideas, all that stuff. Because that's just the way the world is. Like when Trump got into office, little pockets of racism started to sprout out of every part of the country. Not because Donald Trump is a racist, but because he was he was presented that way, that gave people the courage to step out and respond in ways because they felt like they had a representative. And that's just how things go. And I continue to educate myself so that I can be more eloquent with it. But I feel like that's the brick and mortar of it. This is the storefront of how the game is being run right now and how the game is being played. It's a matrix. It's a matrix. Kanye West coming out here talking about things which are, because it's true, every company they said he then got dismantled from is run by Jews. And it's not that Kanye don't know that. It's not that Kanye don't know that the Skechers was going to tell that he came running up there with the camera crew and stuff like that, or whatever he did. He knows. I mean, it's all for, and it's for people the same way with like Sweetie and Doja, not them girls. But like what's going on with Lotto, that sort of thing, dragging her down while she's in the height of climbing towards the height of her career. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. It's that's the game. Kanye was being the most wealthiest man since Mansa Musa, and like only until a certain point. Rihanna being happy selling her products and being the wealthiest, but now we need you to have a kid. Only to a certain point, those sorts of things happen for the control and the puppeteering of the industry as a whole. It's not like one thing or one person really acts out, because if you act out, you get dealt with. So you're acting out in accordance to, and that might be confusing, but you act out in accordance to Kanye playing this, being this character over all this time, Donald Trump becoming a character over all that time and being in that position, and Kanye, associating himself with him, putting eyes on him, that sort of thing kind of sets the tone so that now when the 2024 presidency election comes up, we're going to see people like Kim, Kanye, fucking Russell Brand, fucking Trevor Noah, whoever, people like that get into political spaces that we never thought for, because all of this has been laid the groundwork. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like, oh yeah, listen, because the one thing is slavery couldn't go, because, black people ain't the same, we done made our own comforts, we done made our own ways. I mean, we don't need nobody to try to provide that for us. And we definitely not about people talking the same type of way. But, a riot, population, one thing leads to another. I know one thing, I'm not going to be rioting. But they put out a movie like fucking The Purge, and, that's not so crazy. Even when they do these things, like Zero with Brad Pitt and everybody, the alien, not even alien movies, but like the zombie movies, Walking Dead, things like that. Like, okay, that's cute in theory for this program, but what's really happening? It's really happening because when bath salts hit the damn, I don't mind Trump, and not even on a political stance, but Trump been the same person. Just like Kanye West, been the same person. But we had to get behind the media, the propaganda, pushed people to feel a certain type of way about these people that have been the same person all these years. Black people love Trump, been with Trump, went golfing with Trump, invited Trump to dinners and things like that, and now he's president. Everybody wants to disassociate. Kanye West been on everybody's albums, sang, put people's things together, encourage people to be their best. And develop brands, develop individuals behind these brands. And now he's talking about the people Like people talk about black people all the time. Now he's talking about people who are bringing awareness to a group of people that control the things. We have to disassociate. Like that's not okay because that's not right. That's not right. That's not accurate. And what's being promoted? Because I think about too with racism. It's just like you go to these rallies for black people, whether it was George Floyd, da 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 da. It'd be white people there. They never talk about the support that white people provide as allies. Somebody said we don't need allies. I think it was Erica Alexander. We need reps. What's the word? But they don't talk about that, and then you get the idea that all these all white people, and that's not true. The media, propaganda. Jesus. And that's what I mean. Because like you're saying, grocery store, at the gas station, people acting, Trump puts people, because of Trump, as a figurehead, allow people to feel comfortable in the way that they're raised, or bring up these small sections of people. Because not all white people are like that. Not all black people are like that. To come up and do these things. Fuck, what did I just see? They make it a bigger deal. People going down. They want the riots. That's what I was gonna say. They want the riot. It's just evil has always been the way with the same thing with that damn Bernie documentary. The Bernie documentary, the biggest takeaway from that Bernie documentary was people function in evil. They dismiss kind, sweet, they dismiss pleasant, they dismissed informational. People function, or the propaganda is that this is all people respond to. So if this small thing of hate and shit like that is happening in this area, we will put more gas behind this as opposed to these community building places, these encouraging and insightful and educational, situations, things like that. Because in the case of Bernie, ain't no way in the world some grown men who are mad at their kids is watching something more than they spending time with them. Take that time to then build communities, groups, and spread that through. Like that's was the most ridiculous thing to me. Like I could not, like I needed to, like my head was hurting. I could not wrap my mind around that level of hate. And even that's something like even growing up gay, the hate behind, like what does what I do to you? Because how I live my life does not affect you in no type of way. But the hate that you live in and present and project on, that permeates through everything that you encounter, your job, your kids, you go to the store, like that is the problem. And that's kind of the issue I'm having with Kanye, the people, especially black people in Kanye West. Like, why are y'all preying on this man's downfall? What did he do to you? And we not all, if you black, you're not always pro-black. Let me tell you why. Because somebody black done got on your nerves. And somebody black was acting black. And I don't know if they're going to suspend me for that, but I'm talking to the people. Okay? So I'm not going to sit and be like, oh, he worked here, he's not. Listen. When the fools start acting foolish, I don't want to be around no fools. Okay? Understand what I'm saying? And that's just, and I say that to say, who the hell is And thank God if you are. Even what you call it ain't pro-black all the goddamn time. Um, what's his name? The pro-black heads. Where the hell is Jesse Jackson at? And Al Sharpton. I'm sure they like a light-skinned woman, and they got and they got white people running their stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you understand what I'm saying? None of them paid my bill. Okay, I don't get. That's why I said Kanye didn't wear a shirt 3,000 miles away. He didn't wear it. He didn't even wear it in the States. He wore a shirt 3,000 miles away. People up in arms. Nicki Minaj mad at the Barbs and the lottery winners and the mad at each other. People up in arms. Them girls ain't even in the same state, and people got so much to say. That don't got nothing to do with you. Not one single thing. Kanye wearing a MAGA hat don't got nothing to do with me. But me being me, and I can break the things down. That's just me being me. But it don't got nothing to do. Listen, I don't even care about that. Because at the end of the day, Nicki she don't have to be vocal about it. And that's what I'm saying. Everything is for a reason. Everything is for the intention. Everything is for the dissolution. Okay? That's where we're at. There's your manager and your lawyer have those conversations, especially your agent. Sit there and have them conversations with the powers that be, and then you figure all that out. Because at the end of the day, you should be worried about making your music. You don't need to be out here inciting the people, and that's the thing about a following. If I set my followers loose, we all moving in information. Understand that. We don't promote violence, and we don't promote thievery or drug traffic. Okay? We're moving in information and enlightenment and high vibrations. Okay? High vibration. Because other than that, it benefits nobody. It benefits absolutely nobody. We moving with respect. And that's one of my pillars. Welcome to the new family members. But we're moving with respect. And that's just that. Other than that, we moving for the people. And we have to move differently if we want things done differently. They're expecting people to be, especially black people of color, they're expecting the people to be up in arms and hateful and spiteful and things like that. No. It's too much of that in the white sector going on now. I mean, we can't be sitting there doing the same things, getting roped in the same way when we want to be pro-black, then act differently than that. Like Kanye said, what's more white than English? Be pro-black, all y'all white. Like, everybody acting white. So listen, as I was looking up them companies, Jewish, Weinstein, Bernstein, and I'm not being prejudiced with the names. But you know the names? Treatment. You know the names. These people run these companies. Run these companies. Make the decisions. Make the decisions of a Nicki category and a Lotto category and the Grammy. They make those decisions. Did Nicki Minaj say that? First of all, were y'all here when I was talking about how Nicki and that man ain't in no real relationship, and I would love to see them together, and then they was just together, and that I told you that boy don't know Nicki Minaj, that little boy, Papa Bear. What's the boy's name, girl? Don't nobody care. That boy don't know Nicki Minaj from the nurse on second shift on Thursdays, okay? And her and that Petty, like the same thing with like Rihanna having a kid. It's like until a certain point. Up until a certain point, you can be successful up until this point. This kid, Nicki didn't want no damn kid. Rihanna didn't want no goddamn kid. Not right now. Keke Palmer. I would hate to see Keke Palmer be pregnant. With all this, they talk about she's pregnant in these clothes and the stomach hiding outfits. Keke, why you see that's listen here. You trying to launch a network. Where do you feel like you could find a kid to do that in there like that? With you and your mother having so much control, Kiki don't got no kids. With you and your mother having so much control over your career, you feel like you could have been slow crawling to this point. You know what I'm saying? Hosting GMA, had your own little show on GMA and things like that, all this stuff. And now you want to start this program, this network, which you can call me for. I'll be there. But girl, how you feel like you want a kid with there? Keep I'm not Kiki Wyatt. She got a bunch of kids. I'm talking about Akila and the Bee. What's her name? Kiki. You get to have, how you feel like you can have kids. Now somebody else is not bringing about trying to clear the Kikis up here. Kiki Wyatt don't do nothing, but she's a lounge singer. Kiki Palmer, thank you. She's a lounge singer, and she get residual checks from My First Love and all these things, and she keep her family. She can have all the kids she wants because she got the money to take care of them, and she got the time to do so. She ain't doing nothing but lounge singing as she should do, because she got the voice to do it however she want to do it. And the people gonna pay her, but they want to pay her. But Kiki out here moving and shaking and dipping and doing. Rihanna moving and shaking and dipping and doing. Wasn't making no music, but moving and shaking, dipping and doing. I'm flying over here. I'm flying over there. I'm designing this. I'm smelling that. I'm testing this. Nothing was tying them down or limiting their success like this. Like nothing ties you down or limits your success like a child does, like family do in general, but like a child would do. So when people are on decline, like Nicki Minaj was, like Rihanna was, and like Keke Palmer is, I don't understand how you sit there and be like, oh yeah, I have a kid now. Who is even Kiki's boyfriend? Far as I'm concerned, Zendaya on the climb, but I tell you that Zendaya ain't got no business. Zendaya don't have no business, and I'm not controlling women's uteruses in saying this. I'm speaking, if I was a manager, if I was an agent, what the are you doing? But that's how you get to slow the people. That's how you get to slow the people. Because other than that, they smart, and they ain't hell bent on being in some conventional relationship where they having kids and think they could, because these women is top dog. You know what I'm saying? They're not, and sure, maybe they want to be held at night. But far as I was concerned, Nicki Minaj and Keke Palmer like got the hands. Okay? And Rihanna has had a wheel of lovers. She takes what she wants and she says goodbye. What part of that says, oh yeah, I just want to have a kid at the height of my career? That don't make sense to me. And I'm saying, it's like Beyonce. You know, Beyonce did a lot before she had them kids. And honestly, Beyonce had to have a kid so that her kid would be the oldest kid. Because besides like Apple, Blue Ivy's 10 years old. 10 is the number of new beginnings. 10 is the number of new beginnings, and that's just, you know, the timing of Blue Ivy was accurate. 2012, Whitney Houston died that year too. You know, this is a lot. You know, those are the things. If you look at it that way, only if you look at it that way, that's how I see it. And that's why she ended up having that. Then she had twins in June. You know, so that's whatever she's gonna. Them twins gonna come around and be something like the Olsen twins. You know, they're all my Gemini family. Olsen twins the day before mine. I think Beyonce's twins is the day after my birthday. I'm in good company, but I ain't no twin. See, but that was that. And Beyonce planned that. She planned them kids. She knew she wanted her first child to be a girl, and she knew she wanted boy and girl twins. Now she was sitting around the feminine energy, outweighing Jay-Z. You know, that, you know? And for me, that's the only way to look at it. So there's that. But at the height of her career, or even like she had done a lot before she even had Blue Ivy. You know what I'm saying? She did a record. She had the Grammys. So that was that. But that's like Beyonce had getting pregnant around Get Me Body. You know, the B-Day album. Like, girl, what are you doing? Granted, people love that Rihanna is pregnant. They ain't never been excited about Rihanna being pregnant, not once. And then she had the baby on Friday the 13th. Not once have I been excited about it. Love Rihanna. Baby didn't make sense. Nicki Minaj didn't make no sense to me, especially because this one is gay. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. No delays, no suspensions. But come on now. Come on now. And not only do she got the hands, she gonna have a baby with the man who got the hands for young hands. And I don't care. It was on a live before, and the lady was like, somebody was like, have asked me if I ever been in love, because I'm sitting there questioning Nick Petty, whatever his name is, and Nicki Minaj's relationship. Honey, what do love got to do with it? Tina taught us that years ago. One of the top, most influential movies of the culture. Hey, Patricia. Papa, who knows? Papa Bear might be a little girl. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Is he? Who knows? I'm not putting that on the kids yet. But, Kenneth Petty looked like he a little soft in the ankles. It looks like he might be a little soft in the ankles, and the wrists as well. And just there for that, because I don't even know why you would want, especially knowing for Nicki Minaj, especially knowing what you're up against in the industry, that you want. Because when he got on that microphone, he just made that noise. I don't know, because I would think, well, all the people around you. You know, Beyonce's kids know multiple languages and things like that. So I'm not exactly sure what Nicki Minaj is doing. But like I said, Nicki Minaj don't be there. I told you he don't know that woman no more than he know the nurse on second shift on Thursdays. He don't know. He don't care. See, I got distracted. I don't know why she would want to be with him and knowing what she's up against. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a hard time being me in the industry. I'm having a hard time being accepted for being there. I'm having a hard time being seen for my gifts and things like that. So I'm going to go and find the shystiest man on top of my brother being involved in the same type of situations to fall in love with and have this baby there. That ain't no type of fairy tale book I'm going to read, subscribe to, or watch. So I don't even know. But for the sake of her, like I said, you got to. Everybody's running their, working through their term. Dashamba, Bethia, Bethia. Welcome. Everybody's working through their term, and however they do that to make it to the end of their term is what they do to make it to the end of their term, and that's the game. Let's say like Tina Turner, for example. She said, "I gave y'all everything I had, and now I'm out of the way." But even with that doll, they recreated that woman in a doll in a time that she don't even want to remember. She said she never even watched What Love Got to Do with It. But that's the doll y'all make me after. Like I don't want that. I don't even want that in my house. I don't even want to be associated with that. And everybody knows that. But that's what y'all did. I don't think Nicki like, she don't like boys because she like girls. And whatever he is, they said, Nick, you got this case. Not even he got dirt on her. They manipulated him to live this life with her. We'll clear your thing up. It's going to be a little bit of buzz of it. You're not going to do no real time. We'll expunge it. All you got to do is take care of this kid and live a nice life quietly. There was no, after dealing with Safari And then after dealing with Meek Mill, who's a pawn, Kenneth Petty, I thought, where would she go after Meek Mill? Definitely not to a damn pedophile, which she did. So it just didn't make sense. Where do you go from Safari? Many places. Where do you go from Safari? Many places. Then you get the Meek Mill. It was great. I thought they were onto something. There was a vibe. I'm sure lyrically they could make some things happen. They did. But he was needed for prison reform. And she's still going through what she's going through for her career. And she didn't make it any better by associating herself with a man who liked girls, coupled with her brother, a grown man who liked girls. That should have been the first red flag. And if it wasn't the first red flag, it should have been the icing on the cake for you to ship that nigga on to the next damn thing, because I can't have this right now. Oh yeah, I think Nicki Minaj can. You just got to look at the early pictures of Nicki Minaj. And I've told my followers before, there was a video on YouTube years ago. And, Remy Ma was already on, she was already in the things, she was doing the things, right? And Nicki Minaj calls her. She just did a young Onika back then. She hadn't even done a real mixtape. Lil Wayne hadn't even recognized her yet. And she calls Remy Ma and she's like, hey, yeah, I want to see you. When you gonna? And Remy's like, I can't do that anymore. This is what we can't do. This is what I can't do this anymore. So that was that. And then you just look at and I'm a card-carrying member of the Alphabet Committee. I know other members want to see them. And besides, if you take away these big boobs and the big butt, which is all manufactured, and the hair, which is manufactured, you take away all of this Nicki Minaj image, and you give us Onika Mirage. You got some thug-looking, pointy nose having, and that's all. That's fine. Little studly little thing with pretty hair. And honestly, most women rapping? Nicki don't have no choice but to like the controversy, because she was from the inception of her career. It's been based in controversy. She starts to get recognized. The powers begin to move against her. Keep her in a place like they do with black people. When another black person dies, we're gonna get mad about that. Kanye West wears a shirt, we're gonna get mad about that. Nicki Minaj, people, another rapture. You'll be the hottest rapper in the game, but you're only doing features. Nicki Minaj, I'm gonna do a album like this. Well, no, we want you to rework it like this. From the inception of her career, she's never ever been able to be the artist that when she first came to Lil Wayne, and when he first took notice of her, she was never been able to be that artist again. She's become the female rapper blueprint and all that stuff. And that's not her. And that's why she associates herself with men, likes to rap against men, because that's more in her realm. That's the most comfortable place she can be in. Or a young, unknown, like Bia or whoever she does these songs with. Bia, that's what you call it. Or that's Coy Leroy, Benzino's daughter. It's just like, none of that is authentic. And I just think that's just for the sake of somebody else's bottom line. Whoever B is under, we get Nicki Minaj on your track because we got this investment in you, so we need to recoup this money. And Nicki will let us recoup this money. She's still paying money back. Everybody's always paying money back. But it's very much so that. If they'd have let Nicki Minaj come out and be like a young M.A., first of all, where is young M.A.? If they'd have let Nicki Minaj come out and be like young M.A., Nicki Minaj would be unstoppable. She'd be a lot happier. Nicki Minaj got these hormones and these silicones and these injections running through her body. She pissed, she uncomfortable. And there's nothing she could do about it. Get her money, live a nice life, drop a hot 16 when needed. Other than that, if they could let her screw the pooch, dip in some gooch, put a fitted on it, dial down them titties and that ass, Nicki Minaj would be ecstatic. But that's not it. And then whatever this, everybody comes from sort of single family, wasn't being on T.I.'s show. I'm not exactly sure. But if that's coming from T.I., then like I said, everything comes from something. But dialing it back, Nicki Minaj. Lordy, and now we're all going towards that whole he, me, she, they, them, and Lord, it's just such a trend. I told y'all well, not y'all, because people are new here, so I got to catch the people up. Overexposed from Drag Race to he, me, she, they, them. It's overexposed because you just live to live your life. And things, living your life is not a trend. The way you live your life is not a trend. It's a lifestyle. These things have become trendy and begat confusion and put people in a place to voice opinions on things they absolutely know nothing about. Or even force the narrative that things like this, although are common, should be completely understood or need to be explained to people that don't live that lifestyle. You know? Yeah, claiming to be bi, and even when you listen to her music now, there's every now and then she'll pepper into something, you know, that indicates, because if you're not bisexual, which is fine, if you're not rapping about it. You're not even rapping about it because it fits the bar. Because you're rapping authentically. You want to do it because you write your own raps. You're such an authentic artist, right? Can you pay that, man? I told that same lady, was like, well, don't you know, have you ever been in love? She loved it. I said, when they go on vacation, and she got her arm wrapped around his head and her hand in his head, and he's looking longingly in her eyes with his hands falling around her waist, holding her tight, then I might consider the idea that they in something serious. Other than that, it's a matter of convenience and business. Like I told y'all, as simple as when Nene had to marry Greg to get back on Atlanta Housewives. People just look better. Situations are just better when people, to the masses, when people are betrothed. People like that. Even when it comes to your politicians. Politicians be sitting there married, cheating every which way from Wednesday. But it look better because they married. They're liars. They're liars and infidels. I'd rather know what I'm dealing with straight up front and in my face, Kanye West, than figure out down the line after the fact that somebody's like, you fraud. A fraud. Playing on my intelligence. And that's the thing, like Sutton Strack, you're not going to play on my intelligence. And maybe everybody doesn't see that, and that's how the world goes around, people not seeing things because they have to keep pushing 9-to-5 jobs and things like that. But the people that are aware, some on a simple place, you're not phasing me none. I mean, I see right through you. But don't think that you pushing don't think you pushing me no storyline that I'm just gonna fall hook, line, and sinker for. I mean, that's not happening. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. Not with me, and not over here at the Kelly Collective. Because I know y'all going to be looking at things. Y'all got to. Plant my little seeds. That's why TikTok don't want me to grow. Because I'm sitting out here sowing the seeds into people. I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. You're fading? Yeah, I said I was going to get out of here. Then y'all got me caught up in that talk. I said I'm getting out of here at 1 o'clock. And here it is, 1:04. But I'm not going nowhere far. But I am getting out of here. I left y'all with a little something. We've made some great connections. And y'all know I love y'all for being here. Spending the time with me, because you could be anywhere scrolling on that phone of yours. But you're here with me. And I am greatly appreciative of that. I will be on, I got to be on tomorrow. Because I got to be on reconnecting and connecting, tethering to the people, to the Lux gang. So until next time, I will see you sooner, much sooner than later.